for your very generous hospitality and for hosting me and my delegation here in Moscow. We're very happy to meet you again. We met just last year in Kuala Lumpur, but this time the special is in Moscow. We have long-standing and deep relations between Singapore and Russia. They started soon after we became independent, more than 50 years ago, when we signed a trade agreement. And then we established diplomatic relations in 1968. My father, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, believed that Russia would play a major role in world affairs. So when I was a teenager, he encouraged me to study Russian, which I did. And in 1970, he made his first visit to Russia, which eventually he visited many times in his life. And even after he retired as Prime Minister, he kept the links up. He took an interest in the Moscow School of Management, became its board member, and he was a keen supporter of the Russia-Singapore Business Forum, which helped to link up our business people on both sides and to broaden our economic cooperation. So I'm happy to be able to continue building on this foundation and taking our relationship another step forward. This visit is a significant milestone. It's long overdue for me personally, because the last time I was here was 1978 on a honeymoon. I was here once before that as a student in 1972. I visited Moscow and I visited what was then Leningrad. And this time around I had a chance to revisit some of these old places. Some things are still the same. Krasny Plощad is still Krasny Plощad. There's still the Red Square. Tsarskoye Hall and the Tsar Pushka are still there, the same places and as big as ever. And I went to the Novodevichy Monastery and Cemetery, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but historic, beautiful, and peaceful. But in many other respects, things are totally different. The world has completely changed. So has Moscow. 2 nights ago, I had dinner on the top of the Russian Academy of Sciences building. There's a beautiful restaurant there. And I went up onto the balcony and looked up onto the Moscow River and the Moscow skyline. And I could see in the distance the financial district, skyscrapers, many modern buildings looking towards the future based on a deep and rich past. Prime Minister Medvedev and I had very fruitful discussions. We took stock of our relations and cooperation. We discussed how to do more together. Our economic ties are growing strong. There are many investments in both directions. Russian companies like Lukoil, Gazprom are in Singapore. Singapore companies are beginning to be successful in Russia. Amtel in property and real estate. EduK giving advisory services in education. Food Empire, which makes coffee mix, amongst other things. Changi Airport International is co-managing several airports in Russia, including one in Sochi, which we will be flying into this afternoon. Our trade is growing rapidly. Over the last 10 years, it's quadrupled, but in absolute size, it's still small and far from its full potential. Last year, the volume was about $5.5 billion, making Russia our 21st largest trading partner. Not in proportion to the significance of Russia or the importance of our bilateral cooperation. So that's one key reason why I'm here, to see how we can grow this. Last year, Prime Minister Medvedev and I welcomed the strong progress we made at the last Intergovernmental Council, especially Russia's agreement to enter into a Singapore-Eurasian Union FTA. I'm very happy that yesterday we signed an MOU with the Eurasian Economic Commission in order to establish a platform for regular interactions between the Commission and Singapore to identify areas for collaboration, to become more familiar with one another, and hopefully to pave the way for a feasibility study and then for negotiations on an FTA. Such an FTA will give a big boost to the economic relationship and to companies wanting to expand operations in each other's territories. But of course, our relations go beyond economic ties. Cultural ties are growing. We've been in discussions with the Russian government and have advanced plans to build a Russian cultural center in Singapore, which will service not just the Russian community and the Russian visitors, but also showcase Russian culture. We found a good site It's in a good place, and I look forward to the day when we see at least one golden Russian Orthodox dome on the skyline of Singapore. Our universities have strong partnerships with their institutions. We have very strong scientific and technological capabilities. Our students go back and forth. Our researchers, lecturers go back and forth. Just on this trip on Tuesday, I hosted a reception at a hotel for Singaporeans here. And many students came, Singaporean students, including one high school group from my old high school, National Junior College, here for a 2-week chemistry research program with the Moscow Chemical IC. I told them, I wish I was your age. When I was your age, we didn't have any such exchange programs. But now they do, and we can do many more. And the MOUs that we just signed will further develop the cultural, educational, and people-to-people links. We also discussed Russia's role in the Asia-Pacific region and in Southeast Asia, and we have an important role to play in Asia. In Northeast Asia, of course, in particular, in being involved in the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, but also in Southeast Asia, where ASEAN has welcomed Russia as its dialogue partner and as a participant in the East Asia Summit, in the ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting Plus mechanism, and in the ASEAN Regional Forum. We're going to be celebrating the ASEAN-Russia Commemorative Summit in Sochi to review the progress of this relationship in the last 20 years, and I look forward to meeting President Putin there this evening. So I'd like to thank Prime Minister Medvedev once again for his hospitality. I'm deeply encouraged by his strong interest and by the commitment on both sides to boost our ties. We should build on this momentum, and I hope Prime Minister Medvedev will come and visit us in Singapore. He was last there in 2009. And on that occasion, we took a significant step. We set up the high-level Russia-Singapore Intergovernmental Commission, which on the Russian side is chaired by First Deputy Prime Minister Shuvalov, and on my side by Deputy Prime Minister Chandra, which has steered our cooperation in many areas: culture and education, agriculture, legal cooperation, and it continues to expand its scope into governance and counterterrorism. So the next time Prime Minister comes, I hope we'll be able to do even more. Our 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations in 2018. I hope by then we can open the Russian Cultural Center, and we will have a good Eurasian Union Singapore FTA. Thank you very much. Спасибо, Владимир.